welcome everybody. I'm really excited that Samuel Kiwasz is going to present to us this morning, 31 Ways to Live an Intentional Life. Samuel has been involved in Mastery Circle for many years. He has a bachelor's degree from UCLA in American Social History with a minor in ethnic dance, and has a master's degree from Pepperdine in American Studies. He's been studying metaphysics since 1971 and been teaching sacred geometry for over 20 years. And he brought it into LA Unified School System when he was a math teacher there. He's been selling the sacred geometry pendants for over 15 years and created an online Sacred Friends community with over 2,000 mind, body, spirit in Southern California conscious community. He's married to his beautiful wife, Pauline, for 31 years and survived 74 revolutions around the sun, born here in Los Angeles. So with that, welcome, Samuel. Love having you here.
Thank you. I want to thank Tim. He gladly helped me to embellish something that was very beautiful into something even more beautiful. I really appreciate it. This 31-day personal development plan is a way of setting a tone for success and having a more embellished, positive experience with this life we have here. I welcome you all to participate. I sent you the information a week ago, and if there was one of the 31 aspects that really rang out for you, I welcome you to share on that particular topic. This is an interactive experience, and we're all part of the process. Tim, can you bring in the visual and reading? What a nice picture. Okay. Next. So this is the first one. Do something for someone else. Do a 5-minute favor for someone. 5-minute favors are selfless giving acts without asking for anything in return from the people that you help. Examples of 5-minute favors include sharing knowledge, making an introduction, serving as a reference for a person, product or service, or recommended someone on LinkedIn, Yelp, or another social place. Did anybody have a special resonance with this? Well, I think it's always nice if you have an opportunity to do something for someone and you have the time and the energy to go for it. If you feel that that situation is on your plate, you can't do everything for everybody, but if it's on your plate, I would say go for it.
Samuel, Diana has her hand raised.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah, this resonates with me for sure, especially since I've been playing with Claude AI. It really only takes 5 minutes to write a little love letter to somebody. And this is my passion now. This is a movement that I want to launch. And I love doing it. It makes me really happy. I notice that my own spirits rise as I set out to raise the spirits of somebody else. So 5 minutes is all it takes, really.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I'm sorry. Lisa, you have to unmute.
So on Sunday, I was in the valley. I'd gone to church, and I wanted to stop at Gelson's to get some cookies. And there was a man sitting in a little stoop right before the driveway. And I had just stopped off and got a beverage and put it in my cup holder. And he had a sign that said, "Don't give me money, give me food." And for just a moment, I thought to myself, he needs it more than I do. And so I rolled down my window and I turned to him and I asked him, "I don't have food, but would you like a drink?" And he was so grateful for that little demonstration of kindness. And it stayed with me all day. And it only took like 30 seconds for that act of kindness. And it resonated with me the entire day. And I still feel it today on Tuesday morning because it doesn't take much. It only takes a second to be kind. So that's it.
Thank you. Okay, on day 2, share your positive experiences with friends and family and watch your joy increase. Studied published on BPS research, have found that sharing the good things that happen in your life is a way to happiness. In one study, participants that joined and shared positive experience with another person at least twice a week were more satisfied with life. Do we have somebody who wants to?
Mary Grace has her hand up, and then Ruth.
Okay.
Yeah, I had first raised it for number one, but they kind of work together. You know, I really enjoy being supportive and doing something for other people. And I'm completely clear I do it for myself because I like the way that I feel when I can be helpful to somebody else. Um, and yeah, so mine was really more about number one. It's especially helpful to me when I look around at the world with the huge challenges we're dealing with now. And I feel better if I can make a difference in my sphere of influence. So,
Thank you. Okay. Was it Ruth?
Yes. Yeah, I'm reminded of when our family went to family therapy before my former husband and I divorced, and the therapist would always start each session by having us go around and say something good about each person that we were sitting with in the room before we even began. Well, it was therapy too, of course, because it put us in a different state by doing it. But before any complaints came up or any conflicts were evaluated and discussed, that we would first relate to what we like about each person in the room. And I remember my daughter was very young, and when it was her turn, she didn't know what to say to her father. And finally she said, "I like your bald spot, Dad." But
okay.
just remembering that was a, that it's so hard for us to do when we come with a complaint. We're ready to say all the things that are wrong, but we totally blocked out all the good things and the happy things and the things about one another that we love. So thanks
Thank
for
you,
reminding
Ruth.
us, Samuel.
Okay, next. Day 3, stop striving to achieve. We all have a tendency to work too much, lose our balance, and ultimately our joy in life. It's the unhealthy feeling that if we don't do something productive every day, we've somehow failed. So allow your perfectionism to rest. Slow down and know that life is okay the way it is, right at this minute. As you eliminate the need to strive and be perfect, surrender to the universe. You'll begin to appreciate and focus on other neglected priorities that bring you joy? Who would like to speak on that?
Well, Samuel, I think I'll go. Actually, the first 2/3 of my life was all about accomplishment. I set a ton of goals. I got a lot of certificates and did a lot of work. And it was wonderful. But now that I'm retired and I am relaxing, I am surrendering, I am looking internally and going into spiritual things. And I find that there's a peace and there's a joy that's automatic. And just to piggyback on the first couple ones, selfless service, which is what those first two were about,
Yeah.
is the next level above Maslow's hierarchy.
Mm.
Maslow's hierarchy is about be, me, all the way up to self-actualization, being all you can be. Selfless service starts another whole pyramid that works its way up to divine connection and stuff.
What they have done is that
Sounds good to me. Next. What happened? 4, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Empathy and compassion are things you can develop, and it starts with thinking about other people's circumstances, understanding their pains and frustrations, and knowing that those emotions are every bit as real as our own. This helps you develop perspective and opens you up to help others, which also enhances your sense of gratitude. It's all about empathy. Who's feeling empathetic enough to share?
Oh boy.
Mary? Yeah. Please.
Oh, every single one of these is pushing a button. Every single one of these I could talk about for half an hour. But this one, I'm thinking about my sister who I'm going to visit this week in Lake Tahoe. And my sister has been very grumpy lately and very sort of bitchy and short-tempered. And I've been judging her like crazy because this is not how she used to be, and I'm concerned for her. But when I think about her situation, she is living with her wonderful husband who she adores, who is really suffering with a long-term uncurable disease that will eventually take him out. And so she is watching this every day and looking for signs that he's getting worse every day and trying to help him every day. And so it gives me so much compassion as I go up to see her, especially knowing that she is dealing with such a huge, weighty, horrifying situation where she's watching her beloved husband getting worse and worse condition until she knows at some point he'll be gone. And and no wonder she gets short-tempered and no wonder she gets bitchy. She's in pain. She's in a lot of pain. So I'm happy. Thank you for sharing this because as I go see her, I'm taking this with me now. I'm totally taking all this with me. Thank you so much.
Sure. Next.
Hyacinth had her hand raised.
I'm sorry.
Samuel.
Hyson?
Hi everyone. Welcome, Mac. I have a friend, and I still call her that, who on May 21st of 2018, she removed 3 people from their home in Limerick Park and stacked them up in the bathroom. And she got, I was there the very first day she went to court. And I was there 6 years later when she was sentenced to 75 years, 25 years each for the 3 people. And now she's at Chowchilla Women's Prison in up there. It's a 4-hour drive. I've been approved to go. And I just think of, like Mary was just saying, how I can't even remotely imagine how this woman is getting through her days because she doesn't feel she I don't I mean she took a plea deal, but I think she thinks that everybody thinks she didn't do this when she was the only person there. And then she's saying that she doesn't even belong there. She's there with drug addicts and gangsters, and she's been just treated badly. And I'm so grateful to serve as you all know, I wrote a book on friendship, to serve as a friend in this woman's life. And I actually can't even find the paper that they approved me, but I'll find it. I'll call and get another one. But I am going to see her. And I know it's going to be one of the most humbling and life-changing experiences that I've had in a while. I have a lot of them, but I know this one is going to be there. But I've had people question, why are you still talking to that girl? Why are you in her life? Why you continue to be her friend? And all that does, I stay quiet because that reflects that other person. Everyone has made a mistake or made a choice that had a consequence. Of course, not to that extreme. But the Bible I read says, a friend loves at all times. And like I said, this is the one situation where I really cherish what I think is important, to be there through and through. And I'll report the visit when it happens. But thank you so much for this session, Sam.
Sure.
Oh,
Next. 5, discover your purpose and enjoy the journey. Remind yourself frequently that the purpose of your life is not to work 10 hours a day, 5 days per week for 30 years, then retire to a golf course in Florida. The true purpose should be to discover your calling in life, basking in the joy of the journey along the way, one step at a time. In the end, your legacy is left to these 2 questions. What impact did I make on the lives of others? Who did I serve and make better? Who's moved by this to speak? Well, I think if we focus on what's most important in life, we have a deeper, more meaningful cruise through this incarnation. So let's go to the next one.
Ruth has her hand up.
Ruth?
Yeah, about the last one, I think that for many people, well, I'll speak for myself, there is no line between purpose and work. And the problem for people who are passionate and committed to what they're doing is that not that they don't take time to rest, but they don't take time to care for their bodies. And that there's huge burnout that happens because you have no line demarking between when you're working and when you're being true to your purpose, that those things merge and blend. And then you still have to figure out some structure in your life, which allows you. I remember thinking that when I started having all kinds of health issues that I didn't deal with all my life. And I had to apologize to my body, to all my body parts, for not being mindful and for just being and when you are being creative and purposeful, the truth is you're not living in your body. You're usually in another stratosphere where those things are not part of your periphery, even like, sitting in an editing room for 7 hours and not getting up to eat or go to the bathroom because you're so involved in what you're doing, you don't feel you need to. And then suddenly you realize. So I think that I don't know whether that's one of your 31, but for me, it's not about taking a vacation. It's about really understanding that there are parts of me that I have to care for, that enable me to do the things that I love.
Yeah, this is 32. Make sure you go to the bathroom when you need to. And don't wait. Okay, day 6. Stop getting the attention and focus it on other people. There's something magical that happens when we let other people have the glory. Reading this may bruise your ego, but when you shine the spotlight on someone else and let that person be seen, heard, respected, and considered special, it becomes enjoyable to do so and gives us a peaceful and quiet confidence.
Mhm.
Mary, did you want to speak?
No.
Oh.
I can speak on that.
Okay, Jonathan.
Yeah, first, I put that reading in the chat, so it's you can just save the chat and it's there for you. I have to gather for a moment. As opposed to being a sage on the stage, be a guide on the side. It's just that simple.
Short and sweet? Yes. Okay, day 7. Next. Give thanks. Your situation could be a lot worse. Oh, yeah. I don't care what religion you come from. Start your day by thanking your higher power for things you take for granted. As it turns out, if you make more than 30,000, you earn more than 53.2% of Americans. If you make more than 50,000, you earn more than 73.4% of Americans. By the way, this is written in 1916. It was in Inc. magazine. Feeling grateful now, say a little prayer and give thanks, and then pray for the other 73.4%.
1919, you said? When was it written?
1916.
Oh, 1960?
Yeah.
1/6?
What?
1/6.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 2016. Excuse me. My bad.
Yeah, just from a point of view of graphics and so forth, it was hard to believe.
So be thankful for how well you're doing. There's always someone doing better than you or worse than you, but appreciate what you have. Next day.
Pray for the other 70%. Mm.
Exercise more of the P word. Patience is a virtue I wish more people practiced. It helps you relax and rethink when things are snowballing out of control. Did that guy cut you off on the highway? Relax, take a deep breath, and consider that perhaps he's rushing to the hospital with his wife in labor in the back seat. Patience helps you see the innocence of other people during those really frustrating moments when you'd like fist to meet wall. When I was 20, I discovered metaphysics, yoga, meditation, Tai Chi, all that good stuff. And I decided that when I drive, it would be like a meditation. And all these years, I've taken that to heart. And I don't get upset on the road. It's almost never. I just go with the flow and give people space to be. And it's been very helpful for me. I do have an issue with patience sometimes, but when I'm driving, I seem to have it handled. Anyone else?
I mean, this is what Michael Singer says, don't let anything that happens in life be important enough that you're willing to close your heart over it. That says everything, how important the heart being open is. Yeah, that says everything to me.
Michael Singer is very good. Okay, next. Day 9, be the first to reach out after an argument. This is a good one. The tendency for so many of us to let resentment fester after an argument or misunderstanding and then cut off the person from our lives until he or she reaches out to us with an apology. It's convenient, but it's also just plain dumb. You lose a friendship, a family membership, relationship, or great work connection because your ego has to have its way. Instead, be the first to reach out to make amends, even if you're the one that has to apologize. That humble act will do wonders, and other persons will soften, apologize, and allow you back into his or her life. When I was in the 4th grade, I was captain of one of the teams. We were playing softball, and Julian declared the runner out at first base, and I said he was safe. And I said, let's meet after school and fight about it. And after school, the whole school followed us. And Julian was much stronger than me. He had me pinned within 15 seconds. And the neighbor came out and said, if you kids don't leave, I'm going to call the cops. The next day, Julian invited me over his house. And I went over his house, and it was the opening for a friendship that wasn't there before. So there's a lot of ways to apologize, but it's always a good thing. Next. Just say no. Truly happy people live a simple life. They have a simple schedule. They don't take on more than they can handle. They live according to their values and purpose. They have strong boundaries around what comes into their life, and they have no problem saying no. If it doesn't serve you, if it has little value, if it doesn't make you a better tomorrow, then you are okay. Just to say no. Boundaries are important. Without boundaries, you're like Jello. Anybody have something to say about saying no?
Sure, I'll jump in.
Okay.
This was something that took me a lot of years to learn, but it's a big part of my life now because I found that I was doing a lot of things that I said yes to, and I really meant no. So learning to say yes when I mean yes, but to say no when I mean no. Sounds so simple, not so easy to change, but I did that. And yeah, my time in my life is where I really want it to be. So that's been very significant learning for me.
We all have to grow up. Anybody else? No? Okay. Next. 11, react to good news with genuine enthusiasm. Researchers call it active and constructive responding, ACR. If a friend or colleague shares good news, say a promotion, there are many ways in which you could respond to this news. An ACR response might be, that's fantastic. I had no doubts the leadership team would recognize your hard work. Let's celebrate and get some pizza and beer tonight. An ACR response shares in people's joy and excitement and shows interest and curiosity. By doing so, you'll maintain strong personal relationships and feel more positive. The more you acknowledge others, the greater the life becomes for them and for you. Anyone to share? Remember, we're all connected. So others people's success is our success because it's all one being together.
Samuel, I'd like to say that that's one of the things I love about Mastery Circle is that we support each other. And the way we genuinely show that, A, by showing up, B, by participating and supporting everybody, the comments, just showing up is number one, really. And it's genuine. And that's just such a marvelous way to enhance the world. Thank you for this.
Sure.
Hey, Samuel, just so you know, time-wise, we still have 20 slides to get through, and we got 20 minutes. So probably have to either pick up the pace or maybe extend to another day or something. Just want to bring that up.
If necessary, we can do another day, but I would say keep your comments to under a minute, and we'll see what we can accomplish. It's all good.
Well, or maybe do half, and we could do half on another morning. I think this is an extraordinary presentation. I love these. And I'm really encouraging people. Where are you, people? These are wonderful to respond to.
Be
Samuel,
diligent.
this is Ruth. I wanted to go back to your last one for a moment.
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
what happened today in Mastery Circle and the way everybody responded to actually seeing Mac next to Mary Grace and Sam was the exact example that was given. That, I mean, the joy that everybody experienced in having Mac with us was palpable. And I think he felt that too. And so I think this group is exemplary in fulfilling many of these points that you've covered. So it feels like this is kind of our private diary of how we feel about each other and what we try to do in our lives. And it's still good to go over it and to be reminded. But I feel I identify very strongly with all these points. And I think the rest of the group does too. Maybe that's why people aren't speaking up so much.
Good point.
Samuel, can I just
Yes.
add? I'm having a hard time sitting back and not wanting to raise my hand and be selfish and share each one. So I would like to slow the pace down so we have more opportunity to share each one because they're really deep. And when you think about it, I'm sure that everyone in this group could share on each one. So that's just food for thought. But these are lovely. And I'd like to share on each one, but I don't want to hog the time. So
Well, I'm nudging everybody. Get off your butts. Where's your response to these? These are wonderful.
That Lisa's point brings up my favorite expression. It's not the size of the wave, it's the motion of the ocean. Whatever we get to, we get to. As long as we have a quality experience, that's what counts. Day
Amen.
12.
Amen.
Does someone else want to say something?
No, amen.
Okay, amen. Be diligent. Ever looked at an ant farm in action? In junior high, I did an ant farm experiment. It didn't work. Every single ant has amazing ambition and self-discipline. They are diligent. If you're wondering, why do I slack off so much? It may be time to take a long, hard look in the mirror. What's keeping you from being diligent? Usually the first step of motivation is exactly that. Just focus on the first step. Then it's one step at a time after that. But whatever you do, get off the couch, stop Snapchatting, and choose to be diligent today. This is especially relevant now that we all have cell phones and we're on them probably more than we need to be, instead of doing what we need to do.
I'd like to share on this one, and that is my father used to tell me, he would say, once you start a project, just start it. He said it's halfway done. So
Wow.
that's why focus on the first step. Once you take a step, that first step, then the next comes easier, the next comes easier, and so on. It's so that bit of wisdom I always remembered. I will start something even if I don't feel I'm ready to start something. I will take the first step, write the first sentence, call the first person, whatever it is. And he was right. Once you get that going, the next one's easier and the next one's easier. So this is a golden one right here.
I remember the first night I went to Pepperdine for my master's degree in American Studies, and I was totally overwhelmed. I felt in over my abilities. It was just a leap of faith. And I remember saying to myself, this is the first step in like a 2.5 year process. And I just took it one step at a time, felt like quitting many times, but my soul said, you have to keep going. So I surrendered to the higher wisdom. And it was tremendously satisfying to get that degree that I couldn't believe was possible, but it happened because I made it happen with that first step. Anyways, we can move on. Oh, wait, Lori.
I just thinking of a lot of symbolism this morning. When I was living in the canyon in Topanga, there'd be signs saying lost tortoise. And they'd find the tortoise like like 2 blocks or a mile away. And the tortoise just kept on going. That story, the tortoise and the hare. And if you just keep on moving. As a child, I still do love the symbolism of the Wizard of Oz, where they was it's all within oneself, those symbols. But they was asked, well, how do you go see the wizard? To follow the yellow brick road. So it's that one step at a time. So for me, it's the tenacity of just taking those steps when I have that courage to do that. And if the tortoise can do it, much meets in that story, then of course, we all have that ability if we just take those one step. So thank you.
Yes, Lisa.
So I'm following in the footsteps of Diana and Samuel, and I'm trying to declutter my house and my belongings. And it's so hard to get started, but what happened is was able to start with create or asking to get a accountability partner. And my job is I take a picture of the start of the mess, and then I send the picture once everything is cleaned up. But once I knew I had to do that, and once I started pulling things out of my closet, I don't know why I was procrastinating, but I have been diligent all this week, and I don't spend a lot of time. I just spend an hour, 2 hours, and it's getting cleaned out. And I'm feeling so positive. I'm thinking, okay, what next? What else? Now, what's the next project I need to be diligent with? And it's amazing how it is a lot easier when you do it uh, a little bit at a time, but starting is the secret. How do you get yourself started? So, yeah, I really identify with this a lot.
By the way, when I graduated from Pepperdine, I realized that we can do anything in life as long as we're willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. It really liberated me in terms of how powerful we really are. It's like unlimited, the potential. Okay, next one. Soak up the wisdom of another person. There you go. If you're a smart person, I trust that you are since you're reading this list or in this group, you want to view yourself as a small fish in a great big pond of life, seeking out connections to learn from. So, who are the people of influence in your life? Invite one of them to coffee and learn something new from this person. It will make you better, and he or she will appreciate the chance to pay it forward. In this group, there are so many people of wisdom, it's overflowing, it's limitless. Any people? Want to comment? I guess it's so obvious. We all know this. Okay, next. Oh, I'm sorry. Paul?
Yeah, when I used to lead retreats with the CEO and his or her team, around day 2, we would have people stand one at a time and receive appreciation from their colleagues. And it's amazing how surprised they were at the kind of appreciation they got from people maybe they'd worked with for 10 years and never received that gift of appreciation. So it just strikes me that wisdom comes when you see other people's greatness and talent.
And if you see it, there's a part of that that's already in you. It's acknowledging what is. Okay, next. Thank you. Journal about 3 new things you are grateful for. Psychologist Sean Acker told Oprah that you train your brain to be optimistic. If you do this for 21 days in a row, each day, write down 3 new things you are grateful for. My mother was wonderful. She was a very good person, but she's tended to worry about economics a lot and money and how can we afford this? And there was sort of a negative spin that I picked up from her, but I was determined to turn that around. So when I got a job as a teacher with LA Unified, back and forth to work, I'd listen to tapes from Brian Tracy, Stuart Wilde, and one more person. And they were very positive, and Wayne Dyer, those 3 people. And they were very positive. And over a few years, I was able to turn my character around and learn how to be positive most of the time instead of mimicking my mother's negativity. So we have the capacity to change our personality and how we view life. It's in your hands.
Lavita has her hand up.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Samuel, for this. It's like a long, long time ago. You can see it was in '08. Hyacinth gave me this wonderful article that she had written. And on the back, she put it on a little yellow pad. On the back, she put a note of, instructions of welcome to Hyacinth's gratitude journal. I kept it ever since, and I enjoy it and I read it regularly. And when those of us who had the pleasure of going to the Hollywood Bowl on the 3rd of July, I got caught up in the crowd. And if you know it, it's massive. It's right around 18,000 people. And out of that 18,000 people, I heard Levita, Levita. And I started looking at it like, who was it? It was Hyacinth and Samantha Rose. And it's so funny. I had just been thinking, I wonder how is Samantha Rose now? I mean, we all were aware of the conception after the fact of Samantha Rose and her growth and evolution and, her discoveries. And there she was. She comes up to my shoulder. She's really not a little girl anymore. She's a baby woman, absolutely, but not a little girl. And I was so grateful for Hyacinth and her family and, the evolution of that. Thank you for this, Samuel. And Hyacinth, you're a treasure. Thank you, dear.
Samuel, we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Diana has her hand up.
Okay,
Diana.
Diana. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for this morning and for what is evolving here. It's so easy to complain And I think the most important book I ever read was called A Complaint-Free Life. And for that book, you wear a purple rubber band, kind of rubber bracelet. And if you find yourself complaining, you change that over to your other wrist. So it's a way of breaking the habit of complaining. And I think that this is the cure for that whole thing. So I really appreciate this morning. Thank you so much, Samuel.
Sure. Hyacinth.
Well, Lovita, I want to thank you and tell you that baby girl and I are right here in the car, and she got to hear that, and I'm so grateful. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Say thank you. Thank you. She said thank you. I'm dropping her off for camp, but I'm so grateful that I got to hear that, and I got to see you, and we're getting ready to go see Diana Ross on Friday too. But yeah, just so grateful. I'm sure you all know about this loss of this dear young man, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Oh my God. And Samantha was just going swimming today, and I just reiterated, water is so powerful. We just really have to pray. This was so innocent. They said he was just with his family, and the current just got him. And by the time the beach guards went, it was just too late. Oh my God, what a waste. This is just so heavy. I actually had the pleasure of meeting that young man. And, this is just such a loss. So we just have to live every moment to its fullest right now. Love, live, laugh, and be grateful. And I love that. I did that bracelet changing with 200 parolees, Diana. It was so awesome. I love that man, that pastor. That was the best book I ever read, too. It was awesome. I love my Mastery Circle family. Love you guys so much. Bye now.
Thank you. Ruth.
Yes, I'm remembering this is tied up with Diana's new movement of love letters. When my kids were very small, I was taking a parenting class, and our guide, our instructor, a psychologist, said one of the best things you can do as a parent is to write a love note to your children and leave it as a surprise under their pillow. And so, because most of the time you're with them, you talk to them, you feed them, but it's like it creates a private moment. First of all, the excitement of getting. I still feel excited today when I get a stamped letter as opposed to a bill or an invoice. The excitement of finding an envelope that has your name on it and not knowing what it is, and inside your mother is telling you why you're so special and what she loves about you and thanking you for who you are. I'd love to see this happen, Diana. I'm going to help you in any way I can, and introduce you to people who I think can also help. But I think it should absolutely be intergenerational, and not just for the friends and lovers in our lives. It should extend. We should bring back the art of letter writing. Please, God, please make it possible to receive those beautiful colored envelopes and unusual stamps and a love note inside.
Patricia.
Yes, you reminded me. I sent my son a love letter via text message, and he was so encouraged by my words. You reminded me of that. Yes, I agree with you.
I wanted
Hey,
to.
Samuel, we're
Yes.
10 minutes to the hour, so I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up this
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just give
Thank
final
you.
comments.
If you want, we can do this, finish it another time. I'm very open to that. And I just want to say what it came up for me when I was going through the whole 31 was never pass up an opportunity to bless those people that cross your path. And I think that says it all. If you come from that attitude, your life becomes a blessing. And so it is.